On a bustling Monday morning at Felix Hospital, the atmosphere is a chaotic blend of urgency and routine. Nurses dart between patient rooms, doctors exchange hurried instructions, and the waiting area buzzes with quiet tension. Amid the commotion, Kim, the hospital manager, strides confidently through the halls. Kim, in her mid-40s, is known for her no-nonsense attitude and strict demeanor. Her sharp suit and ever-present clipboard are as much a part of her identity as her short temper. Over the years, she has earned a reputation for keeping things running smoothly, though some see her more as a dictator than a leader. Kim's typical day takes an unexpected twist when she spots a man entering through the hospital's main doors. He's wearing a red MAGA hat, a plain t-shirt, and jeans, his casual appearance standing out sharply against the backdrop of the suited staff and well-dressed patients. The man is none other than Elon Musk, though in his unassuming attire, most people don't recognize him. But Kim does, and she's instantly on high alert. From Kim's perspective, this man is trouble. She watches him approach the reception desk, the bold slogan on his hat, a symbol she despises, immediately drawing her attention. To Kim, it's not just a hat. It's a potential disruption, and she's determined to prevent any chaos in her hospital. Without a moment's hesitation, Kim marches toward him, clipboard in hand, her heels clicking sharply against the floor. Elon greets her with a polite nod, but Kim's expression remains cold. "Excuse me," she says curtly, her tone firm and authoritative. "Can I help you with something?" Elon, calm and composed, replies, "I'm here for a reason, but I'd rather not cause a scene. I just need to take a quick look around." Kim's eyebrows raise in disbelief. "Take a look around? This is a hospital, not a tourist attraction," she snaps. "We don't allow political statements here, and frankly, your hat is making people uncomfortable." Elon glances around, noticing a few curious glances but no visible signs of discomfort. Still, he remains collected. "I'm not here to make a political statement," he explains calmly. "I promise I won't get in anyone's way." Kim, however, is unmoved. Her voice rises just enough to draw the attention of a few bystanders. "Listen," she says, her tone firm and unwavering. "I don't know who you think you are, but you need to leave. Now." Elon's response remains to be seen. Don's calm demeanor begins to unsettle Kim. He doesn't argue or raise his voice. Instead, he meets her gaze with a composed, measured look and replies, "I'm not here to cause trouble. But if you feel that strongly, I'll leave. Just remember, appearances can be deceiving." Kim scoffs, crossing her arms. "I'll take my chances," she retorts. "Security will show you the way out." Elon gives her a faint smile, says nothing more, and calmly exits, escorted by 2 security guards summoned by Kim. As he walks away, he glances back at the hospital, his expression thoughtful and unreadable. Meanwhile, Kim returns to her rounds, feeling triumphant about how she handled the situation. Little does she know, her world is about to be turned upside down. The camera lingers on the hospital entrance as Elon disappears into the distance, foreshadowing a surprising and heartwarming turn of events. The next day at hospital begins just like any other. By 9 a.m. sharp, Kim is already patrolling the halls. Her clipboard is filled with tasks for the day, each one mentally reorganized to fit her meticulous style. With her usual no-nonsense expression, she scans the corridors for anything that might disrupt the hospital's carefully maintained order. As she sharply instructs a nurse about a misfiled report, a commotion at the reception desk catches her attention. A small group of nurses and patients whisper and point discreetly toward the entrance. Frowning, Kim strides over to investigate, her heels clicking on the polished floor. Her heart sinks the moment she sees him. The same man from the day before. The red MAGA hat, the casual t-shirt, the calm demeanor. It's exactly as she remembers. Kim's face tightens. Not again, she thinks. "Excuse me, sir," she says, her tone cutting through the murmurs. The crowd quickly disperses, leaving Elon standing alone. He looks at her with the same polite but unreadable expression, unfazed by her hostility. "You again," Kim says, crossing her arms. "Didn't we make it clear yesterday that you're not welcome here? I'm not going to let you disrupt this hospital with whatever it is you're trying to prove." Elon offers her a faint smile and responds in the same calm tone. "I'm not here to disrupt anything. I simply have business to take care of," Elon says calmly. "Business?" Kim repeats, her tone laced with skepticism. "What kind of business could you possibly have in a hospital like this? Unless you're a patient, a visitor, or an employee, you have no reason to be here." Elon tilts his head slightly, as if weighing how much to reveal. "I'm not here to waste anyone's time, I assure you, but I have every right to be here." Kim feels her temper flare. His calm, almost amused demeanor grates on her nerves. Who does he think he is, waltzing in here like he owns the place? "Let me be perfectly clear," she says, stepping closer. "If you don't leave right now, I'll have security escort you out again." By now, a few staff members have gathered nearby, their expressions a mixture of curiosity and unease. Some recognize the man, exchanging nervous glances, but no one dares intervene. Kim's authority is well known, and few are willing to challenge her. Elon sighs softly, his patience seemingly unshaken. "You seem very determined to have me removed," he says, his voice calm but firm. "But let me ask you this. Are you absolutely certain you're making the right call?" Kim scoffs, her cheeks flushing with irritation. "Yes, I am. Now leave, or I'll make sure you regret staying." Elon nods slowly, as if accepting her decision, though his composed expression remains unchanged. "Very well," he says. "But remember, you have judged me without knowing who I am or why I'm here. Sometimes appearances can be deceiving." Kim waves her hand dismissively and calls for security. The guards approach cautiously, their unease evident. Without resistance, Elon allows himself to be escorted out, leaving Kim standing in the hallway, unaware of how significant this encounter will soon become. Kim stands triumphantly at the hospital entrance, watching as Elon disappears through the doors. A hush falls over the room. One of the younger nurses leans in to whisper, "That's him," to a colleague. Kim hears the murmurs but dismisses them as idle gossip. She's far too satisfied with how she handled the situation to care. In her mind, the issue is resolved, until the following day brings a far greater surprise than she could ever anticipate. The next morning, Kim begins her day with confidence, convinced that the previous drama with the mysterious man in the MAGA hat is behind her. She stations herself at the front desk, scanning her clipboard with hawk-like precision, ready to keep the hospital running smoothly. But the calm won't last for long. Just before noon, a sleek black SUV glides up to the hospital entrance. Its glossy exterior stands out among the usual patient drop-offs, drawing curious glances. The driver, dressed in a sharp suit, steps out and opens the passenger door. Out steps Elon Musk. He's still wearing the now infamous red MAGA hat, but this time he's dressed in a tailored blazer, exuding quiet confidence as he strides toward the entrance. His demeanor is composed, unaffected by yesterday's events. Kim spots him immediately. Her jaw tightens, and her grip on the clipboard stiffens. "Not again," she mutters under her breath. She storms toward the entrance, each step punctuated by the sharp click of her heels. Elon walks calmly into the hospital, glancing around as if everything is perfectly normal. "You again?" Kim's voice rings out, loud enough to draw the attention of nearby staff and patients. "What's it going to take to keep you out of here? Do I need to file a restraining order?" A crowd begins to gather, sensing the tension. Whispers ripple through the hallway. Some of the staff recognize Elon, but they are too stunned to intervene. Kim, oblivious to the murmurs around her, presses on. "This is a professional facility," she snaps, "not some playground for your political stunts. Your hat and your attitude are not welcome here." Elon raises an eyebrow, his calm demeanor unshaken. "I'm sorry if my presence offends you," he says evenly. but I have every right to be here. Kim lets out a sarcastic laugh, her voice echoing through the corridor. Oh, really? And what right would that be? You don't work here. You're not a patient. You're just loitering. She turns to the security guards from the day before, who have appeared nearby, visibly uneasy. Pointing dramatically at Elon, she commands, "Escort this man out of my hospital again, and this time make sure he doesn't come back." The guards exchange hesitant glances. One of them, clearly uncomfortable, speaks up. "Ma'am, are you sure?" "I think there's been a mistake." Kim cuts him off with a sharp glare. "No mistakes. Do your job." Reluctantly, the guards approach Elon. He offers no resistance as they gently guide him toward the exit, his calm expression unchanged, while Kim watches with a sense of victory she won't hold on to for long. As Elon walks away, he turns back to Kim with a faint smile. "You're very determined," he says calmly. "I'll remember that." Kim scoffs, waving him off dismissively. She turns to face the staff and patients, some of whom are visibly shocked or disapproving. "All right, back to work, everyone," she says briskly, as if nothing unusual has happened. Meanwhile, as Elon steps out of the hospital, a nurse leans toward a colleague and whispers, "She really doesn't know, does she?" "Know what?" the colleague asks. "That's Elon Musk," the nurse replies, "the new owner of the hospital." The colleague gasps, her eyes darting toward Kim, who still stands at the entrance, basking in her perceived victory. Elon climbs into his SUV, his expression calm but with a glint of determination in his eyes. This is not over. He thinks as the vehicle pulls away. The next morning, Kim arrives at hospital feeling invincible. The events of the past 2 days have only reinforced her belief that she's the one holding the hospital together, maintaining order and control. She strides into her office, ready to tackle another day. But something feels off. A hushed buzz ripples through the staff. People whisper in corners, exchange nervous glances, and fall unusually silent when Kim passes by. Kim narrows her eyes. Probably gossiping about something trivial, she thinks dismissively. She grabs her coffee and settles at her desk, reviewing the day's agenda. But before she can finish the first page of her notes, the phone rings. "Kim speaking," she answers curtly. Ms. Kim," the receptionist stammers nervously. "There's someone here to see you." Kim frowns. "Who?" "It's Mr. Musk, the man you asked security to escort out yesterday," the receptionist says hesitantly. "He's in the conference room." Kim's grip tightens on the phone. "What? Why would he?" She stops herself and exhales sharply. "Never mind. I'll handle it." She slams the phone down, muttering under her breath. This guy just doesn't quit. With her trademark determination, Kim storms out of her office and marches toward the conference room. Her heels echo sharply against the floor as she approaches. But as she nears the room, she notices something unusual. The conference room, usually quiet and empty this early in the morning. The conference room, typically reserved for high-level meetings, has been cleared of its usual occupants. Instead, several key figures from the hospital's administration sit inside, their expressions tense and uncertain. At the head of the table stands Elon Musk. The red MAGA hat is gone, but his calm confidence remains unmistakable. Beside him is the hospital's chief financial officer, Mr. Mike, who avoids making eye contact as Kim enters the room. Kim stops abruptly, her eyes scanning the room with suspicion. "Can someone explain what's going on here?" she demands, her tone sharp. "And why is he here again?" Mr. Mike clears his throat awkwardly. "Ms. Kim, please take a seat." "I'll stand, thank you," she snaps, turning to Elon with a glare. "Why are you here? I thought I made it clear. You're not welcome." Elon exchanges a glance with Mr. Mike, who shifts uncomfortably. Then Elon speaks, his voice calm but commanding. "Ms. Kim, I think it's time we clear up a few misunderstandings." Kim crosses her arms, her annoyance palpable. Oh, really? And what misunderstandings would those be? Elon steps forward, meeting her gaze directly. You see, Ms. Kim, I'm not just some random visitor causing trouble. His words hang in the air for a moment before he continues, his tone steady. I'm here because, as of last week, I became the majority shareholder of Famous Hospital. He pauses for emphasis. In simpler terms, I am your boss. The room falls into a stunned silence. Kim's confident demeanor falters. Her eyes widen as she processes his words. Her mouth opens as if to respond, but no sound comes out. She looks toward Mr. Mike, searching for a denial, but Mr. Mike nods solemnly, confirming Elon's statement. No, that's impossible, Kim stammers, her voice wavering. Why would someone like you? Because I believe in improving institutions like this, Elon replies calmly, his gaze unwavering. Calmly and frankly, I think this hospital could use some changes, Elon says, his tone direct but composed. Starting with how it treats people, employees, patients, and visitors. Kim's cheeks flush red as the weight of everyone's gaze shifts to her. She opens her mouth, her words stumbling. I didn't know. That much is clear, Elon replies, his voice sharp but measured. But ignorance does not excuse behavior. Over the past few days, you've made some serious judgments. Now it's time to address them. Kim's heart pounds as the reality of his words sinks in. For the first time, she realizes she may have made a grave mistake, and that this is just the beginning of her reckoning. The tension in the hospital is palpable the next morning. Word has spread like wildfire. Elon Musk, the Elon Musk, is now the owner of this hospital. Excitement buzzes through the staff, but it's mixed with uncertainty. While some employees are eager about what the change might bring, others worry about their jobs. But no one feels more unsettled than Kim. Sitting in her office, Kim nervously taps her pen against the desk. She hasn't slept much since the humiliating revelation in the conference room. Elon's words replay in her mind on a loop. You've made some serious judgments. Now it's time to address them. The uncertainty gnaws at her. What changes will he make? Will she still have a job? Just as she begins to focus on her daily agenda, a soft knock interrupts her thoughts. Her heart skips a beat. Another admin with bad news, she thinks grimly. Come in, she says curtly, bracing herself. The door opens, and her heart nearly stops. Standing calmly in the doorway is Elon Musk. This time, there's no casual attire, no MAGA hat. Instead, he's dressed sharply in a tailored suit, exuding quiet authority. A faint smile plays on his lips. Good morning, Ms. Kim, Elon says, stepping inside without waiting for an invitation. Kim jumps to her feet, her voice shaky but now much more polite. Mr. Musk, I wasn't expecting you, Kim says, her voice shaky. Well, I thought it was about time we had a proper conversation, Elon replies, closing the door behind him. After all, we've gotten off to a less than ideal start. Kim swallows hard, her hands gripping the edge of her desk. I'd like to apologize for the misunderstanding, Mr. Musk. I didn't know who you were, and I may have overreacted. Elon raises an eyebrow as he sits across from her without waiting for an invitation. Overreacted? He repeats, his tone calm but pointed. Do you mean the part where you humiliated me in front of your staff? Or the part where you had security physically remove me? Twice? Kim flinches, her cheeks burning with embarrassment. I'm sorry, truly. It wasn't personal. Wasn't personal? Elon leans forward slightly, his calm voice carrying a sharp edge that makes Kim's palms sweat. Tell me, Ms. Kim, would you have treated me the same way if I weren't wearing that hat? Kim's eyes dart away. She can't bring herself to answer. I thought so. Elon says after a moment of silence, leaning back in his chair. You made a snap judgment about me because of what I was wearing. And in doing so, you disrespected not just me, but the values this hospital is supposed to uphold. Fairness, professionalism, and compassion. Kim nods quickly, eager to appease him. You're absolutely right, Mr. Musk. It won't happen again. Elon studies her, his gaze unwavering. After a moment, he surprises her by offering a faint smile. I hope not, Ms. Kim, because while I believe in holding people accountable, I also believe in second chances. Kim blinks, unsure if she heard him correctly. Second chances? Yes, Elon says, standing up. I'm not here to punish you, Ms. Kim. I'm here to improve this hospital, and that includes the people running it. But you'll need to prove that you can lead with the integrity and respect this place deserves. Kim exhales slowly, relief washing over her. I won't let you down, Mr. Musk. I promise. Elon nods, his expression still serious. Good. But promises mean nothing without action. I'll be watching closely, Elon adds, his voice calm but firm. Before Kim can respond, he turns toward the door, pausing briefly. Oh, and Ms. Kim? Yes? She replies, her voice tentative. Let's make sure the next time I visit it's under better circumstances. He flashes a faint smile before walking out, leaving Kim standing in her office, stunned but resolute. As Elon walks down the hallway, staff members quickly step aside, their eyes wide with curiosity and newfound respect. He stops to speak with a nurse, asking thoughtful questions about patient care and the hospital's challenges. The staff, surprised by his genuine interest and humility, begins to feel hopeful about the changes he might bring. Kim watches from her office window, realizing that Elon Musk is no ordinary CEO. If she wants to retain her position, she will need to rise to the challenge, and fast. Kim now finds herself in uncharted waters. Elon's parting words linger in her mind. Promises mean nothing without action. Determined to redeem herself, she knows she must confront the truth about her leadership style. For years, she had prided herself on maintaining order and discipline, believing that strict control was the key to running a successful hospital. But now she understands that her approach lacked the compassion and understanding necessary to truly lead. If she wants to keep her job and her dignity, she'll have to change. Her first test comes sooner than expected. Elon has scheduled a meeting with the department heads to discuss the hospital's future. Kim knows this isn't just a routine meeting. It's a chance to prove she can adapt. She spends hours preparing, meticulously studying financial reports, patient surveys, and staff evaluations. But deep down, she knows data alone won't be enough. Elon isn't just looking for numbers. He wants to see the human side of her leadership. The meeting begins in the hospital's largest conference room. Elon sits at the head of the table, his calm demeanor radiating quiet authority. The department heads shuffle in, their expressions tense, unsure of what to expect. Kim takes her seat, clutching her notes tightly, her heart pounding. Thank you all for coming, Elon begins, his voice steady and composed. Before we dive into the details, I want to make one thing clear. This hospital's success depends on how well we work together. Leadership isn't about giving orders. It's about serving others and creating an environment where everyone can thrive. Kim shifts uncomfortably in her chair, feeling the weight of his words. She had spent years commanding respect through control. But Elon's vision is different. Elon continues, his gaze sweeping across the room. Now let's start with a simple question. What is the biggest challenge facing this hospital? The room goes quiet as no one wants to speak, afraid of saying the wrong thing. Finally, a young nurse manager cautiously raises her hand. I think morale is a big issue, she says hesitantly. A lot of staff feel overworked and underappreciated. Elon nods and thanks her for her honesty. What do you think would help improve morale? He asks. The nurse manager looks at Kim before responding. Better communication from leadership would be a good start. Sometimes we feel like our concerns aren't heard. Kim feels a flush of guilt as she realizes her authoritarian approach has created a gap between herself and her team. Turning to Kim, Elon asks, "Miss Kim, as the hospital manager, what's your take on this?" Kim pauses, takes a deep breath, and decides to acknowledge her mistakes. "I think she's right," Kim admits. "I've been so focused on maintaining efficiency that I haven't listened to my team enough. That's something I need to improve on." The room seems to relax a bit, appreciating Kim's honesty. Elon nods approvingly, signaling that recognizing the issue is the first step. "Now let's move on to solutions," he says, leading a productive discussion where everyone shares their ideas. Kim takes notes, not only on the logistics, but also on Elon's leadership style. He listens carefully, acknowledges everyone's concerns, and offers helpful feedback, demonstrating excellent leadership. By the end of the meeting, the atmosphere has shifted. The staff feels heard and valued, and Kim gains a renewed sense of purpose. As the meeting ends, Elon approaches Kim. "You did well today," he says. "Leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about learning and growing. Keep that in mind." Kim nods, a small smile on her face. "Thank you, Mr. Musk. I'll do my best." Elon walks away, knowing the hospital needs leaders who care about both people and results. For the first time in years, Kim feels hopeful. Not just about the hospital's future, but about her own growth as a leader. Over the next several weeks, Kim works to transform her leadership style, inspired by Elon's example. Kim decides to step out of her office and engage directly with the hospital staff. She starts her mornings by making rounds, greeting everyone from nurses and doctors to janitors and cafeteria workers. At first, her presence catches everyone off guard. Most are used to seeing her only when something goes wrong. But as days go by, her efforts begin to feel more authentic. One morning, Kim notices a nurse struggling to assist, a patient in the ER. Without hesitation, she steps in, helping steady the patients and guiding them into a wheelchair. The nurse, surprised, blinks in disbelief. "Miss Kim?" she asks, shocked. Kim smiles. "Just Kim. Let me know if you need anything else." Moments like these start to rebuild the trust she had lost. Word quickly spreads, and for the first time in years, the staff begins to see Kim in a new light. Not as a distant, cold manager, but as someone willing to roll up her sleeves and work alongside the team. Kim also begins hosting weekly listening sessions, giving staff a chance to openly voice their concerns and ideas. During one session, a janitor speaks up about a broken cleaning machine that has been neglected for months. "I've reported it 3 times, but nothing's been done," he says, frustration evident. Without delay, Kim pulls out her phone and makes a call. Within 24 hours, the machine is repaired. The janitor thanks her personally, saying, "I didn't think anyone cared." Kim replies sincerely, "I do." Meanwhile, Kim shifts her focus to patient care as well. She organizes a town hall for patients and their families to share their experiences. During the event, a mother tearfully describes how a nurse went above and beyond to comfort her son during a difficult procedure. Kim makes sure the nurse is recognized in a staff meeting, earning her a standing ovation from the team. Kim's newfound commitment doesn't go unnoticed by Elon. During one of his visits, he sees her working side by side with a nurse in the pediatric ward. Later, he pulls her aside. "You're doing good work," Elon says, offering Kim a nod of approval. Kim smiles but shakes her head. "I still have a lot to make up for." Elon chuckles. "We all do, but what matters is that you're showing up every day and proving you're willing to change. That's the kind of leadership this hospital needs." Kim's confidence begins to grow as she recognizes the power of humility and action. She starts addressing long-standing issues in the hospital, such as streamlining schedules to prevent staff from being overworked and launching a mentorship program for young nurses. One afternoon, during a meeting with department heads, Kim presents a bold new initiative, a scholarship fund for low-income students pursuing careers in healthcare. "We need to invest in the future of medicine," Kim explains. "This isn't just about running a hospital. It's about changing lives." The room bursts into applause, and Elon nods approvingly from his seat. As Kim leaves the meeting, she feels a weight lift off her shoulders. She knows she's not perfect, but for the first time in years, she feels like she's truly making a difference. Later that day, as she walks through the hallway, a nurse stops her. "You've changed," the nurse says. "We're lucky to have you." Kim smiles, her eyes misting with emotion. "No," she replies, "I'm lucky to have all of you." In that moment, Kim fully understands what it means to lead, not through fear or authority, but through empathy, service, and a genuine desire to uplift those around her. Her redemption is no longer just a hope, it's a reality. As weeks go by, the hospital transforms. The atmosphere is lighter, staff members are more energized, and patients can feel the positive shift. The changes Kim has implemented, both large and small, begin to ripple through every corner of the hospital. Employees who once dreaded coming to work now feel a renewed sense of purpose. Recognizing the progress, Elon decides to host a celebration to honor the hard work and dedication of the hospital staff. The cafeteria is transformed into a festive space, adorned with decorations, catered food, and live music from a local band. Staff and their families attend, enjoying a rare chance to relax and bond outside of the workplace. During the event, Elon takes the stage, dressed casually in a jacket and jeans, looking both relaxed and commanding. "When I first walked into this hospital," he begins, "I saw potential. I saw people who cared deeply about their patients and colleagues but felt trapped in a system that didn't support them. Change isn't easy, but this team has shown that it's possible when we work together." The crowd cheers, and Elon motions for silence. "Tonight, I want to recognize someone who embodies what this hospital stands for: compassion, growth, and leadership. Kim, please join me on stage." Kim freezes for a moment, stunned by the attention, but the staff erupts in applause, urging her forward. She walks to the stage, her heart pounding in her chest. Elon smiles and hands her the microphone. "I don't know what to say," Kim begins, her voice trembling slightly. "When Mr. Musk arrived, I thought he was just here to shake things up and leave. But he did more than that. He taught me what it truly means to lead, and while I still have a lot to learn, I want to thank each and every one of you for giving me the chance to change. This isn't just my hospital, it's our hospital." The crowd rises to its feet, cheering, as tears well in Kim's eyes. She steps back from the microphone, and Elon pats her on the shoulder, whispering, "You've earned this." As the night winds down, Kim stands beside Elon, watching the staff laugh and mingle. She turns to him and says, "I never thought I'd say this, but thank you for everything." Elon chuckles and replies, "Thank yourself, Kim. I just gave you the opportunity. You did the rest." The next day marks the beginning of a new chapter for the hospital. The walls that once echoed with tension now feel alive with hope and determination. Kim continues to lead with empathy, working tirelessly to ensure the hospital remains a beacon of care and innovation. The story closes with Kim visiting a young patient in the pediatric ward, reading them a story and promising to bring their favorite snacks. As she walks out of the room, she feels lighter than she has in years. She now understands that leadership is not about control, but about service. Under its new ethos, the hospital flourishes, proving that change, though difficult, is worth the effort. This story serves as a reminder of the power of humility, empathy, and second chances. Have you ever been given the opportunity to change or help transform someone else's life? Don't forget to subscribe. Your support can help us to bring more impactful stories.